Let's get recording here because we got a lot to talk about. These questions come in from Q&As and that I pulled from my social medias. And now putting these classics here in front of me, okay, with the questions. So straight away, I'm going to go down through these bad boys as I sip and lime tea. That's how do you make it? Add hot water to a cup with dandelions in it, obviously. The leaf is what I went for today. Good for detoxifying the liver. Yes, yes, oh yeah. And it's free and it doesn't cost me a fiver for a box of organic. I'm going to say it. I'm rattling so many different companies here. Apologies, Pooka Tea. When people say organic is expensive and being healthy, you're breaking my heart. Lads, do the simple things. Nature provides specifically at times for you as well. I just like those apples and apples in season as well. Get on those. So, first one, what is my opinion on Weetabix with berries for breakfast? Okay, that's the first question. How can I stop snacking at night? Next question. Then we have, can I recommend a high protein breakfast that's not eggs? Most certainly. Then we go with what programs do you offer and what do they cover? Okay, classic one. Okay, great to actually get that specifically asked and expanded on in these Q&As. Low fat, high protein foods. Yes, yes, oh yeah. We got the one, we got the two, we got the three, we got the four. That's five by my count. Okay, so what's your opinion on Weetabix with berries for breakfast? That's Colette. It's something that I would have previously had myself. Okay, and it's something that more often than not, just to touch on what Weetabix are. Weetabix are categorized, okay? Food goes into three of these main groups every single time, either a protein, a healthy fat, or a carbohydrate. Weetabix being a carbohydrate, and also, in on top of that, it is fruits that also land into that carbohydrate section. And people then often put honey in on top of that. That's three items in one section. So that's carbs, carbs, on carbs. Nothing wrong with carbs. However, it's a balance. If you ever heard that word, that you need to most certainly have in your meals. Yes. And so lucky to have this book right here, right close. So if you have the Bible or Organic Fitness book on page 14, I describe so many different food items and the key point that I mentioned to everyone that I train. Okay? It has an indication, the food item that you have, on your blood sugar levels. Okay, your blood sugar levels determine your cravings, which actually leads me on lovely to the next question. So the point is that when you are eating nothing but carbs, or a high percentage of your food items is carbs, it can spike your blood sugar levels. So that's really, really important. When we look at the image again, okay, this is also on Instagram and Facebook for those people who don't have the book, and different posts that I put out throughout the last number of months. Okay, protein foods have less than half of a spike in your blood sugar levels, while fats have a minimal spike, if very little at all, in your blood sugar levels. So it's all about controlling those to, I suppose, age gracefully, firstly, and not put as much stress on the body. So that's why some people are going and saying, oh yeah, right, let's take out carbs completely. That's not what I recommend. I just recommend you have also high protein foods with that breakfast. So those people that enjoy having eggs for breakfast, tick, winning, because it has healthy fats as well on top of it. Yogurts are another absolute game changer for some people who don't want either of those. And I would also recommend smoothies. Some people use supplements. Okay, a protein supplement, nothing wrong with it. But the rest of your foods throughout the day, I would highly recommend that you're having chicken, fish, turkey, eggs, and if you're vegan or plant-based, tofu and tempeh would also be incorporated into those food items that I suggest for you guys. So that is the main reason. And I used to have Weetabix. I used to have Weetabix with raw sugar. So sugar being a carb too, and a quick release of carbohydrates, that is the killer. And why I was more so wired to the moon and craving so many different things, with my next food item being a Nature Valley bar. Okay, and then following that, I would have had an odd biscuit or two, and I would have had jam on that. Yeah. Oh boy, was I carb loaded and ready to fly to the moon after that fuel filled carbohydrate and simple carbohydrates for the majority of those food items. So it's not that carbs are bad. I'm going to touch on why. Okay, carbs go into two main categories. Okay, that's simple carbohydrates. That is the ones that are white rice, white bread. I'm having white bread too. In my sandwiches, we would touch on the likes of anything that's refined. Okay, that's typically the husk taken off it. We switch over to the complex carbohydrates, the brown breads, the brown rice, the brown pastas, and even putting in potatoes in that category too of sweet and white in complex. So all the time going for a more complex carbohydrate because that doesn't have as quick a spike in your blood sugar levels as a simple carbohydrate. Yes, okay, whether it's sugar, and touching on the point, carbs again are often demonized because biscuits, chocolates, cakes, and alcohol are all lumped in that category. So very important for you to start, okay, switching over to, okay, higher protein foods to reduce down the spike in your blood sugar levels, and complex carbohydrate throughout the day. Okay, and that actually leads me on to something that's actually asked just before I came onto this live. What are the best type of wraps to get? Okay, white wraps, not the end of the world. Then we go over brown wraps, even better, just higher fiber. Fiber keeps you fuller for longer. Fiber is something that can benefit your microbiome located in your stomach, that really helps you to absorb more vitamins and minerals and helps you with sleep, energy levels, and anything else in between. Your skin health, love that. And everyone wants to have better looking skin, even me, heading towards the age of 33. Anyone else that's listening to this podcast, is one of the first things that people look at, and it's an indication of how healthy you are. People look at your face typically, and when we look at that, we go, you're healthy, you're healthy. You're at either end of the spectrum. So you decide with the foods that you have throughout the day. Okay, so next thing we're going and touching on is, okay, how can I stop snacking at night? Key point, if you're snacking at night, I would highly recommend you to look into your foods. More often than not, people undereat. You're undereating foods for breakfast, okay? You're undereating the likes of your lunch. You're eating healthy. You're thinking salad might be a great idea, but for the most part, you are then, okay, undereating throughout the day that leads to either snacking and or binge eating towards the later evening, okay? And we tend not to reach for a head of broccoli or a carrot. Maybe some of us do, okay? I would, most certainly myself, and recommend you to increase the amount of fiber that you have in your diet, okay? That is a winner. Fiber keeps you full for longer, and where does fiber come from? Every different fruit and vegetable. So go for dark leafy greens, whether it's in an omelette, wish them together in the pan. There we go. Thank you, ma'am. Done and dusted. There's spinach, there's kale, there's rainbow chard, all in season, and things you can also grow very, very easily from seed, okay, in a pot or in a warm windowsill or in a raised bed or a python. Anything at all would give you the advantage of free food. Packet of seeds cost like €2. And next thing I want to touch on is, okay, the protein foods. Protein keeps you fuller for longer. Not only controls your blood sugar levels, but it's satiating. Very hard to overeat on protein foods. So if you were to take the example, some people have got to actually even try this. Just try overeat on chicken. Try overeat on meats. Try overeat on fish. Try overeat on eggs. Try overeat on any of the food items, the chicken, fish, turkey, eggs, tofu, and tempeh. I have to say it like that, just from my brain. And that just means and will indicate to you that, oh yeah, you feel super full after the likes of consuming a higher protein meal than you do otherwise by not consuming it. So increasing that protein food, whatever it is on your plate, okay? So if you're currently having, let's say, a chicken dish, bump that up, double that amount, okay? I recommend 200 grams of most certainly chicken and or any other protein source, for that matter, gives you 40 grams of protein. You would not believe the difference in your satiating hormones, your fullness, your I suppose, overall willingness to snack is majorly reduced. Okay, that's very important. Next thing that also reduces cravings is magnesium. That's found in your dark leafy greens. Another reason why I add them to so many people's diet on the nutrition and exercise program that I have. Okay, so because that's key. It's usually over 300 processes in the body. Energy is most certainly a key point in increasing your magnesium. Okay, if you're excessive amount of stress in your body, whether it's from work, whether it's from relationships, or all of those combined, or kids, and or maybe you're starting up your own business, the point is that stress is something that takes up magnesium, and you need then to increase it from dark leafy greens. We'll go with lentils. We'll touch on the likes of beans. They're amazing as well. And my mouth waters always when we're talking about foods on here, which is probably pretty much every week, okay? For the dandelion tea. And next thing that I would get you to consume for magnesium is chocolate. Yep, I just said it. People's ears have pricked. Coleman just said consume chocolate. And the higher percentage of cacao that you have in and on your dark chocolate, the better, because that is something that contains a high percentage of magnesium. I myself would consume cacao. Okay, there's a lot of cacao ceremonies, and I just want you to remember that it doesn't have to be ceremonial cacao. You can get cacao, however you want to pronounce it, cacao, and put it in a cup, mix it around, and drink it off. Okay, it's lovely stuff. And but remember, taste is quite personal. You can add pink Himalayan salt. I also would add in maca powder. All those things are in conducive, I love that word, with health, energy, reduced cravings, and the idea is it's good for you. I love eating things that are good for you. Put my hands together because yes, everybody listening to this podcast is like, lean into the mic. Would gain and would love, who wouldn't love to be healthier? Okay, who wouldn't have less cravings? Who wouldn't love to certainly be and look a little bit better when you start eating cleaner foods? That's the idea of it. Okay, when you're listening to this podcast, I give you the tips, the strategies, the ways that I eat them. When you ask these questions, and this is the tip now today, you ask the right question to the right person, get the right answer. And that's as simple as it gets around here. And I have loads of different tips in the book. Don't have the book, listen to the podcast. I pretty much mentioned it in so many different shows, all these strategies. Okay. And then when you come onto the programs, you literally get and gain the advantage of, okay, my mentoring and the coaching and the most certainly accountability, because that's what people are lacking, right? And that's what I recommend. And the last thing I'm going to touch on for snacking is definitely going to bed at a regular time. You're staying up till half 11, 12, 1, you're going to 2, I'm going to bust you, because that is not helpful. Okay, you staying up, your body needs a certain amount of energy, okay, to move when we're walking and to function, whether it's being alert with your eyes and your brain. Okay, that's using up energy. Then the body will reach for whatever's handy. And I know you haven't a lovely meal prepped, whether it's a dinner, whether it's a salad, you will go far. You go for the biscuits, you go for the bar of chocolate, and you'll say it's a treat. And really, it's not treating yourself with respect. That's the God honest truth. Because you'll wake up at the end of the week and go, your hands on the hips, and you just go looking in the mirror and you just go, I'm not really happy. I'm not happy where I am. And that's because of your food choices. That's because of your lifestyle habits. And that's why I mentioned sleep. When you get a better night's sleep, you control these two main hunger hormones. The satiation hormone, leptin, you get poor night's sleep, it goes down. I'm using my fingers here in an analogy in this YouTube video if you're watching it. And your ghrelin hunger hormone, if I can extend my finger, which I will just really increase the height, that goes up. Okay, that is a simple health hack. Going to bed at a regular time. I'm going to give you the tip of the day. Setting an alarm for 8 o'clock. Going to bed around 10, right? It's something that gives you roughly about 2 hours, depending on if you have kids or whatever your routine currently is right now. Anything after 10 o'clock, lads, and I'll tell you if you're watching it, is rubbish. Okay? There's things on social media. You can watch them. I want to watch them throughout the day, because when you watch them at night, there's blue light being emitted from your phone, and that's not helpful. So I all the time would touch on you guys to realize everything is falling here now. I'm just going to say everything is falling. All right, leave that up there as it falls again. We're going to realize that everything that you do in the evening affects, okay, your sleep. If you're jumping around a place, if you're running around too late and your exercise is just before you go to bed, that's increasing your stress hormone. That's not what you want. If you're looking at your phone, I hold up my phone right here now in the morning, thank God I can record these podcasts. I'm going to put them out on a Thursdays. My English not so good as earlier. So we are looking at phones, and the blue light comes and signals alertness. You do not want to stay awake in the late evening. People say they're night owls. You're a night owl because you have habits that are most certainly helping you to stay a night owl. You say, oh, I love staying in bed in the morning. That's because you are absolutely exhausted. You're looking to push out workouts. You're even canceling on them. You're saying, I can't get up. And if you say you can't, most certainly you won't. You say you can, you most certainly will. Do the simple things, okay? Put these tips into practice, right? If you're struggling at all, okay, with anything, send me again a private message and I'll give you even further coaching. You say, Coleman, that's not my problem. This isn't, okay? And it's, everyone knows my social media platforms, here to help every single day I'm on it, right? And then Next question that goes on lovely. Can I recommend a protein breakfast that isn't eggs? Right, protein breakfast that isn't eggs would be savory oats. I love savory oats. That's one major option. That's you using and adding in fish, let's say tuna. Okay, we are absolutely all over fish here on the Common Power Organic Fitness podcast. Why? It's so sustainably caught. I love Shriners tuna. They are amazing. Yes, I would have that. Might even have that today. Let's go with Shriners tuna for breakfast then. And I do love eggs, but there are people that don't like to consume them. Typically in the morning, and or I said that's absolutely fine. That's why I'm here to answer that question. Touching on it, savory oats, having a protein source. That just leaves us down to fish for breakfast, if you would like. Next thing you can most certainly into is I'm going to say high protein yogurt. We can go with, people say, I don't tolerate dairy. That's absolutely fine. You can go with goat yogurt. Next one you can go with if you don't like goats or you don't like and can't tolerate the dairy, you go with tofu. Sorry, not tofu. Touch on that next. We can go with soya. So soya yogurt, you can get the high protein ones, and they're organic ones. They come from the likes of typically Super Value, and Dunn's typically have them as well. But you can also get them in your local health food store. Go into places such as those and gain the advantage of the best foods that are high protein for your breakfast. Okay, then that leads me on to those yogurts on their own, and fruit could also be made into a smoothie. Smoothies are amazing, and then you can also bump it up if you want to with the likes of a protein supplement. Yes, I do get people to consume protein supplements, but that's not their main protein source in a given day. That's just helping them feel satiated, because having a higher protein source for breakfast has an indication of what foods you eat throughout the day. That's scientifically proven. So I want you to do more of those things for yourself. We have soya, and then the next thing, soya, that we're going to move on to, okay, is tofu. You can have scrambled tofu. You can have scrambled tempeh. Okay, tempeh is even higher in protein, and it's very similar to eggs. I would put turmeric on it. Okay, if I wanted a higher fiber breakfast without the likes of your fats in it, and that is something that is so delicious. Turmeric, black pepper, to activate those anti-inflammatory properties. I would add in then pink Himalayan salt or curry powder. That's curry flavored or salted. Classic scrambled tofu. You get a tub of it. It's $2.29 at this moment in time. I broke down a meal because I was giving a talk in Wicklow very recently. People say, Colin, very, very expensive to eat something healthy, and even more so if you eat it organic. I said I'm going to give you one also a cooking demo involving a very cheap. It broke down to $3.40. We'll take it $3.50 per meal organically. Organic tofu. Okay, we've half it. So it breaks it down. Let's say it's €2 for easy math. Goes down to €1. What have we got? Bag of organic carrot. Again, they've got €1. Again, you don't eat euro. Let's say €1.50. We didn't eat the whole bag. We had 3 carrots. Right? If you don't want to eat 3 carrots, you need 2. It broke down to about 20 cents. Okay, so we're at about 120 this minute. Then we added in some nuts for healthy fats, pumpkin seeds. Okay? Then we went in and added, the likes of a slice of bread. Okay, that bread for those individuals, I was saying to get it, I suppose, sourdough bread was €3 for the loaf. Winning. Okay, again, we don't have the whole loaf in the breakfast. That's your classic. Okay, tofu, your pumpkin seeds, and bread. Carbs, proteins, fats in that exact meal. Carbohydrates here, bread, pumpkin seeds, your healthy fats, and have some protein, but more healthy fats. So that's why it's labeled as that. Your tofu is your classic high protein food item in that meal. That is $3.50 for a meal. For a breakfast, it could be a lunch, and or if you want to do with dinner, and we were not skimping then, we have even added in, greens from the garden. I added that in, so bumped it up to about $3.50 if you had to buy the bag. Okay, it's a simple winner that you can gain advantage of when you look at the foods or listen to this podcast and go, Jesus, I could have that. That's no bother. That's some job. So I can literally go and get something organic, go get something super healthy. And people that I train, it doesn't have to be all organic foods. I'm just showing you that that's actually one food item, a meal, right? You're cooking for a family, just double, triple, if that's a word, the dosage, right? It's scrambling tofu. It takes you 8 minutes. I've timed it. There we go. Adding in spices. Sourdough bread's already cooked. You slice it. Boom. You'll have liquid with the likes of your you put miso paste. I didn't want to add that in because that increased the price. I just want to keep it as cheap as possible to show people that's how healthy and cheap you can eat on a budget. winning. Lentils are very cheap as well, and especially if you're buying things in a bulk. So you can get that tofu in Lidl. Okay, Lidl classic. If you want to go with that, if you didn't want those eggs that are so nutrient dense that I do love to consume, but that's the question that came in, and I answer all questions and expand on them in these podcasts. So lentils are no-brainer. I would make lentil pancakes or lentil wraps, okay, and then you can add in lentil wraps. They're amazing, and then add tofu to it if you didn't want that. That's actually a really good one. I just thought off the top of my head, because there isn't any nutritional questions that I would not I would shy away from. I love answering them, and it makes me think. Right, so you keep sending in the questions, and you keep getting these classic answers. I really want tofu, and I really want lentils today, and you want to add curry powder. Yes, yes. Okay, stay tuned for that on Instagram. In fact, this will be out way before that, but if you're watching regularly, I had that. I definitely did. I'm writing it down. That's how much I did want that. Going shopping later today. So next question. What programs do you offer and what did I cover? Okay. There's several different, I suppose, programs and events that I'm currently doing right now. So the first of which I'll expand on is the different events. So I do grow your own courses throughout the country, and we'll be hopefully doing more and more of those as this year goes on, because people getting themselves set up for being more sustainable and having food at the back door with very little effort is what I'm recommending. Okay. The point is, you can literally put a couple of French beans up a climbing frame and do nothing else. Once they're really established, once they germinate, that's it. There's nothing to be done but pick the fruit, the beans off the climbing frame. When you've that done, you bring them in, you eat them raw. You don't even have to come in. You eat them outside. They've added to salads. They're amazing. They're just full of vitamin C, and they're full of magnesium, we mentioned earlier. That's just one simple organic fitness food that's written about in the book that I love to go back to. And that's a simple tip. Okay. That's one organic fitness food. Next one is, okay, touching on the grow your own courses. Tick. That'll be the next one is the 3rd of September. That's in Kildare, okay, in a new location. Yes, well, so we're all learning about different sites, and I'll be bringing apple trees. Yes, we'll be literally having the opportunity for you to either take one home, and or, on top of that, you will be seeing how to set yourself up where you have greens in a polytunnel or raised beds up on to and through Christmas week. And if you had me mentoring and coaching you throughout the summer, you can have tomatoes up on Christmas week as well. All right? Because yes, I can teach you to do that intercropping. Your full tunnel should be, or glasshouse or any area that you're growing, should be full of salads starting September, such as minsuna, tatsoi, oriental salads. I love winter purslane. You're sowing that now. Winter broccoli. You have the likes of purple sprout broccoli. You sow that in September, and it's harvested in the next generation, next year, in spring. That's how we roll. Purple sprout broccoli is lovely. It's full of the antioxidants when you eat it raw. Sulforaphane, they can actually neutralize free radicals. Literally, it's so good for you. Medicine can't barely do that. That's the tastiest medicine I ever came across. Purple sprout broccoli. You also get that from microgreens as well, and kale, and tatsoi, and minsuna, and rocket. I'm mentioning them all because I'm like a doctor. Dr. Power, how are you? I wish I had like a white shirt on. I'm a notepad. I'm very good. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you take your medicine, which is food. Medicine is food, right? And other things I'm most certainly offering is the likes of the retreats that are on throughout the year. There's some crack. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm super grateful to meet a diverse amount of people from AM to PM at those different events. Starts on Fridays, ends on Sundays with sea swim, saunas, kayaking. We have grounding, we have stretching, we have yoga, we have nutritionist Cara O'Donnell cooking all the different meals for us. If you've seen them on my socials, they look and taste amazing. Amazing with a capital A and exclamation mark at the end of that. Boom. Right. So then, following that, we have coming into the September months, is August. I'm fully booked with clients at this moment in time. But if you're looking to get in, as you say, send in the message. We'll lock in those lyrics. It's a 6-week program starting off with, okay, for individuals to realize that with foods and exercise and lifestyle combined can get you to improve your gut health, okay, which improves your skin health, which increases your energy levels, which also is something that's in conducive with being happier, being healthier. Because my main emphasis on those programs and for being on social media is for people to become happier and to become healthier. And when you literally join the Organic Fitness program, you have accountability from the healthiest fella in Ireland, myself, okay, on every step of the way. You get certainly a meal plan that has so many different options. Okay, if you don't like something, we'll swap it in. The macros are broken down. Macros are your proteins, your fats, and your carbs that I always talk about here on this show and on a daily basis on social media. I want you to then work out on a regular basis. That's most certainly having you either home workouts or gym based. And on top of that, it's the idea that you are then leaning towards the finest of, okay, food that you cook from scratch. And even if you're on the go, there's so many different options that you can consume on a daily basis. That is something that I do year round. Okay, I bring both women and men through the likes of this program because it's exactly, okay, what you guys need and are looking for. So many people are struggling with foods. Okay, so many people are struggling with mental health and most certainly confidence. And when you start to look better, you start to feel better. When you start to feel better, you're slipping into dresses that you never did before. The t-shirts are absolutely fitting you like a glove. Like the opposite of what it used to be. It used to be literally coming out over the top, your most certainly belly, and now you want to and be happier and be healthier. And how does that happen? Okay, it happens when you decide. I set yourself a goal. We set yourself a goal. The two of us, because we're in combination, a team. When we literally decide what you want, we work towards it with exercise, with steps. Even if it's raining, we'll get you out there. Even on the days that it's tough, I'll be there. When you're struggling, the idea is I'm your motivator. I'm your coach. I'm your literally accountability partner. Okay. There isn't any stone that I will not upturn, throw upside down and inside out so that you can, okay, lose weight in a healthy way. It's not cutting out the foods that you like. I'll never tell people to take out breads. I'll never tell people to take out anything that they enjoy with family members on a regular basis. I get them to most certainly understand foods at its basic level to improve their diet. Okay, getting things local, getting things fresh, and getting things organic. It's not that you have to consume absolutely every food item organic. Nope, it's about adding in one more food that's organic, whether it's fermented, whether it's from a single ingredient, whether it's a protein, a fat, or a carbohydrate, or anything else in between. You will be improving your health in the simplest way, step by step, day by day. And I'll meet you where you are. It's for all fitness levels, okay? It's definitely not something that's for people who want to step onto a bodybuilding stage, because I didn't even enjoy that when I did it once. Okay, and that's it. I did something, I tried it, and I said, that's not for me. And I want you to most certainly realize that if you're not happy where you are right now, I highly recommend you to decide what foods you're eating in a day. And if you're looking for help, you're looking for a mentor, looking for a coach, I would love, hands on heart, to help you. That's what I do. And I love it. I really do. I'm super grateful to have a job where I'm able to point people in the right direction. Right. That brings me on to foods that are high in protein but low in fat. The classic fish. Yep. A specific type of fish, white fish, and or mussels are great. But then remember, if mussels, if you're cooking them in fats, that's going to increase the fat. So steam the bad boys. I love mussels. I might add that to my shopping list right now. I'm going shopping today. Thank you very much for asking these questions. Because I don't have mussels and I don't have most certainly lentils to make what I'm going to make this evening for dinner. So yeah, the high protein foods and typically low fat will be yogurt. Okay, supplements will be fish, all conducive of, okay, keeping you satiated, good for your skin health. And sometimes people, in particular women, more so than not, are afraid of protein foods because they think it makes them bulky. If only it was that easy to build muscle, I tell you, we'd be on an absolute winner. The idea is when we start to consume higher protein foods, typically then that are low fat, it can be one of those things that allows us to lose weight. Because if you are constantly eating foods that contain protein and fats, let's say meats and let's say eggs and let's say cacao, all things that I've mentioned, and you're a current height, a certain height and a certain weight, that can prevent you from being in a calorie deficit. The idea that you need to work out and figure out that we're not consuming enough protein foods, because otherwise you'd be fuller for longer, and it prevents you from overeating in your meals while increasing your exercise, and exercise being walks, exercise being hikes, which I'm going to be doing more and more of with groups of people. If you want to be involved in that, send me a message as well. Okay, other than that, Those are the classic questions that came in today. Okay. And if you most certainly want to book into any of the different events, whether it's the retreat in the 29th of September, we'll reverse it back, the Grow Your Own course in Kildare on the 3rd, okay, and from that you get a full tray of 77 plants on the day. Send me a private message. I'll send you the details for both events, and then going forward, looking towards, looking towards a goal and a target. There is, okay, the classic, okay, Christmas coming up, yeah, and the one that I actually left to last purposely. There's a program that I'm working with Edwina Nash, okay, based down in Limerick, who's most certainly a bioenergy healer, works with people with trauma, and then we've combined, I suppose, our skills together with nutrition and exercise and overall health in, I suppose, our sites and your sites. If that's something that you're looking for, there is a program that is available for working with the two of us. Okay, so also if you're interested in that, again, send me a message or Edwina. I'll be tagging her in the show notes, and that's something we can get you signed up for, looking for long term and most certainly looking for health with, again, a group of like-minded people. Other than that, I love ending these shows by saying stay tuned, stay classy, and keep it organic as the rain whizzes down here. Go on, talk soon.